What's up, everybody? And welcome to Tony's Corner, a Great Girth segment. We still call it that, dude, because that's what that is. This is a Great Girth segment. I'm your host, Tony, and guess what is on the docket for this episode? 2012's The Pact, written and directed by Nicholas McCarthy. Runtime's about 89 minutes. It feels like 88 hours. I'm just kidding. It does feel like a long movie. You know, this might actually be my very first, negative review for a film. Don't get me wrong, I've praised bad movies for various reasons. Even then, though, this just might be a bad one all around. Sure, it's got some potential, but yeah, I've watched this thing 3 times, dude, 3 times to A, ensure I was comprehending this confusing ass movie, and B, to ensure that I had the same opinion as I have literally right now, dude. But even after having to watch it 3 times, dude, I still ended up having to do research because I was just confused over this movie. I was like full on confused. Let's get like the pleasantries out of the way, I guess. There's really not a lot, dude. Katie Lotz or Lutz, isn't it? Hope I'm saying her name right. Casper Van Dien shows up as well. Bro, he deserved better than this, honest to God truth. Agnes Bruckner is in here as well. She's doing her best, man. Everyone else is disposable. The house looks like it smells like mildew and mold and just broken dreams. Tack on some trauma, dude. The acting isn't terrible, and the look of the film is great, but that's about it. I genuinely don't have much else positive to say about it. Maybe we should talk about let's talk about it. Let's start with the opening scene. All right, this is a spoiler review, so there's going to be some spoilers here. If you have not seen this movie, I highly suggest you don't watch it, because that's what I'm here to do, is to tell you to not watch this movie. However, if you're like me and you still watch movies even though your favorite movie critic tells you not to, then you probably don't want to watch this episode, because there is a lot of spoilers here. You've been warned. Now let's start with the opening scene. Set the scene. A woman is on webcam with her sister, Skype days if you know what I'm saying, talking about how much she hates their dead mom. Very stale opening. Then she walks across the room and pretty much willingly walks into a hallway closet, curious as to the haunting sounds of an invisible force, right? And then the credits roll. That's it. That's the open. Somehow it's the most interesting part of this entire film. We cut to Katie Lotz, right? Who plays Annie. She rides a bike and, she has the emotional range of like a leather jacket, showing up for the house after her sister goes missing. She's like the bad daughter who didn't come to the funeral because, mommy was bad to them. Mommy was abusive. Like, cool. We get it. Trauma, dude. Childhood trauma like no other, right? Now the bedroom still has that creepy doll eye staring at you, like we're all supposed to get it, dude. Annie walks around the house doing a whole lot of nothing. And it, at least to start, it really feels like we were just here. Zero urgency, by the way. It's almost as if her sister isn't missing. Now let me ask you this. Your sister goes missing in your childhood home, right? And while looking for her, you find her phone. Would you actually sleep in this house? And guess what happens next? For 40 solid minutes, it is a whole lot of nothing, except people wandering around a dimly lit house whispering, hello. Like they've never seen horror movies in their lives. This isn't tension, dude. This is flat out stupid. But I'm fine with dumb work so long as it works for what you're trying to accomplish. At the 42-minute mark, we finally get jump scare number 1. A closet door opens by itself. Annie decides to investigate by standing perfectly still and letting the camera push in on her face for a full 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds, dude. I have never wanted to question my TV since the first Avatar film. Then she sees a blurry figure in the corner of the room. Dude, the movie tries to sell this as terrifying, but it looks like someone put a Snapchat filter over like a lava lamp individual, dude. It looks bad. It looks very comical to be defined as scary in a way, dude. It is pretty laughable. And then we get a seance scene that is like somehow It makes this film like it can't figure out what type of genre of horror it is. This just doesn't help anything at all. It only raises more questions. And in the end, it doesn't really serve much purpose. A psychic shows up, immediately starts crying, and says there's a presence in here. It's a woman. She's crying. Groundbreaking, dude. Did you also sense that you just took a turn into nothing? What was the reason for this? The reveal makes it makes you question why this scene or these characters were ever really needed. And then Casper arrives on the scene with very little to offer other than the assumption that we as the viewer should immediately know who he is. He has 3 expressions: confused, shocked, and just emotionless, dude. Like, he just looks, that's it. He's supposed to be the skeptical cop who slowly believes. Instead, he just looks like he obviously doesn't care to be here, other than he probably needed the money or did it as a favor to a friend of the crew. It is way too obvious. And here's the twist. Everyone pretends it's brilliant, right? The ghost isn't the bad guy. The ghost is trying to help Annie because there's a serial killer named the Judas Killer who's been living in the walls of the house for 15 years, murdering women and taking Polaroids like it's a fucking scrapbook, really. You know, scrapbook project club. Let me repeat that for you, though, just in case you didn't hear me the first time. A grown man has been living in the walls for 15 years, and nobody noticed. The house isn't even that big. There's maybe 6 rooms in this house. You're telling me the family had never once done renovations, never heard scratching, never smelled the rotting corpses that apparently are kept in the secret murder room. The reveal is supposed to be like shocking, and it's not. It's a total letdown that made no sense. This is the screenwriting equivalent of it was all a dream, but somehow it looked great in quality. The ghost has been moving shit around, slamming doors, and dragging people across the ceiling just to say, look closer. Dude, and then Annie's reaction to finding a hidden murder room full of corpses and a feral wall man, if you will. Dude, she makes the same face she made when she first saw the closet door open. Dude, the final confrontation is the Judas Killer chasing her around the house with the camera shaking like it's having a seizure. She kills him by stabbing him with a coat hanger, dude. Symbolism, right? And then the ghost gives her like a little pat on the head, like good job or great job. Roll credits. This movie wants so badly to be the next Orphanage or the others, and it's not even the next Grave Encounters. It's barely the next Paranormal Activity, dude. It's a shit movie. Avoid wearing a horror mask. It's 89 minutes of nothing happening, followed by 5 minutes of the stupidest twist since Scream 3. Let's talk Katie, dude. She can act, she can fight, she can do stunts that would kill lesser mortals. So why in this movie does she look like she's reading the script for the first time? In every scene. Or how about the director himself, Nicholas McCarthy, dude? This was his debut. He also, though, to be fair, he also made The Prodigy and Devil's Door, both of which are just dog shit. The man does have a type. Dim lighting, sad-looking house, sad broken women, cheap jump scares, and twists that make you want to apologize for anything negative that you ever had to say about M. Night Shyamalan. He's the human equivalent of a Spirit Halloween store. You know, looks spooky from the outside, but on the inside, it's just plastic skeletons and cheap shit. And now let's talk about how this movie uses childhood trauma. Mommy was mean, we get it. But the movie never really earns a single tear, dude. It just keeps cutting to creepy Jesus paintings and porcelain dolls like that's supposed to explain anything. When it comes to the sound design, or lack thereof, half the movie is dead silence. The other half is the same, like 3 piano notes getting progressively louder until like bam, jump scare, some door closing. Not the worst thing in the movie, but considering how shitty it's been, it could have helped, dude, but all you had is breathing the entire time. Now let's talk about how the movie completely wastes its only good idea, the ghost or protector thing that could have been interesting. Instead, we barely get anything on this. Literally no time in this movie for the one thing it had going for it. You know what's totally crazy? This movie got like good reviews from some people, 65% on Rotten Tomatoes if you follow that bullshit. People called it like effective minimalist horror. Well, super minimal for sure. So minimal that I feel like we glossed over some big shit. Lazy is what it is. You can't afford real scares, so you just turn the lights off and you hope that the audience fills in the blanks with their own fear. That's not clever. That's cheating. Let's talk about the ending, dude, again, because I still feel lost. After Annie stabs the Judas Killer with a coat hanger, he dies in the secret room. The ghost does the whole head pat thing. Then there's this final sting where the camera pushes in on a photo on the wall and one of the eyes is missing or something, dude, implying that there's another killer still out there. And then there was a sequel, The Pact 2, which somehow looks even cheaper. And I guess it's about like dream demons or some shit. I haven't seen it, and I'm keeping it that way. Some doors should just stay closed, dude, unlike every other door in the first movie. Final thoughts. The motorcycle is the best actor in the movie. Casper deserved way better. Give him a Starship Troopers sequel, please. The house decoration looks like shit. This movie thinks that doors opening by themselves speaks volumes. The twist isn't a twist because we barely get enough time to understand the role of the ghost, as is anything in this film, dude. And definitely not sitting through this one ever again. I am upset with myself. This and the Innkeepers, man. There's been some stinkers for me this week. But if you love this movie, I'm sorry, dude. I can understand why. Even though you're wrong, I just don't get all the hype at all. Where does this movie land on my rating system? It was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie about that. But I admit that I have seen worse, so I'm going to show some mercy. Honestly, I'm rating this film as a very simple, can someone please explain to me where I can get the last 2 hours of my life back? Which is essentially 2 stars. So not bad. I wouldn't watch it again, and you probably shouldn't watch it either. I've seen worse, but man, that was disappointing as shit. There's nothing worse too than this movie really feels like when you're staring at a soda can, you get so excited because you know it's ice cold, and then you crack it open, dude, and it's flat. That sucks. But anyway, that is my honest opinion of The Pact. I'm very, very mad at the people that told me to watch it. And again, that and the Innkeepers. Oh my God, dude. I just couldn't. I didn't even tell the truth here. When I first started this movie, I made it 45 minutes in, and I ended up turning it off. But then I was like, no, you need to finish it. And then I forced myself to finish it. And then I watched it 3 separate times, dude. And it felt the same every time. This is a bad movie. The Pact. Have you seen it? Comment below and let me know what you thought of it. Or if you disagree. I'm sure there's a ton of you right now that might be upset. But judging by the IMDb rating, we might all be on the same page here. This is a shit movie. I'm not shitting on the director. I know I sounded like I was, but this movie's terrible, dude. And I've never seen anything that Nicholas did that was really worth talking about. There you go. Nicholas, I'm sure, is a good director. His track record says otherwise, in my opinion. Just my opinion. However, I do thank you guys for wasting your time watching this episode. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I hate asking you guys for anything, but now that we're on a new channel, we're trying to integrate, get more views, get more things going, get more movement, get more momentum like we had on the Great Girth channel as well. I am Tony. If you want to see a more political and spicier, unhinged, deranged side of me, go to the Great Girth podcast. If you don't like politics and if you're easily offended, please do not just stay here with me. We can talk movies. We don't got to talk about all that. Otherwise, I'm going to go. And thank you guys. Remember, no matter how many shitty movies we see, to always stay rad.